June Books presents 4,962,571. Written by Trevor Eisler. Illustrated by Ruth Chung. 49, 50, 51. Good night, Zachary Zane. Good night, Mommy. Mommy, wait! I need to ask you something, yelled Zach at the top of his lungs. Crikey, Zach, what's the matter? How high can you count? Asked Zachary Zane. Oh, I don't know. How high can you count? Asked Mommy. 4,962,571, he said. 4,962,571? She asked, surprised. It will take 10 years to count that. I can count it in one day, replied Zach. And he drifted off to sleep, dreaming of big, big, big numbers. 4,960. Zachary Zane jumped out of bed the next morning. He started counting at breakfast. He counted the first thing he saw, a piece of toast with butter and blueberry jelly on it. He took a big bite of toast and called out with his mouth full, 1! What else should I count? He smiled. There were so many things in the world he knew how to count. Zach grabbed his old messenger bag from the closet and set out on an adventure. Rocks, bugs, sticks, nails, marbles, a coin, a piece of toast with butter and blueberry jelly on it. He carefully counted them all and filled his bag and his pockets. 71! Now Zach needed a 500 to put with his 71. But how was he going to fit 500 things in his pockets? Caw, caw, chirp, chirp, tweet, tweet. Birds! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. For an hour he watched the sky and did not stop counting until he reached 500 birds. When Zach got home, he emptied his pockets and bag and made a big pile. Then he wrote 500 birds in a sketchbook. He handed the sketchbook to Mommy and asked her to make sure nobody moved his numbers. Now Zach had a 500. He also had a 71, so that made 571. Zach put his hands in his empty pockets and wondered what to count next. Zach asked Daddy, "How many leaves are on the old maple tree?" Daddy gazed up at the tree and said, "About 1,000. But it's autumn. You better count them quickly. When the leaves fall, the branches will be bare." "How many trees do I count to have 62,000 leaves?" asked Zach. "You need to count 62 trees, just like this one," replied Daddy. "Okay, I can do that." Zach ran down the street and counted each tree. 1,000 leaves, 2,000 leaves, 3,000 leaves, until he had counted 62 trees. "That is 62,000 leaves," he announced. Then he took a picture of the street and all the trees and his house far, far away. Zach printed out the photo and gave it to Mommy to hold. 62,571, he said proudly. But then Zach was stumped. How would he count to 900,000? Even the whole neighborhood did not have 900 trees. He asked the neighbor, Mr. George, "Where is something as big as 900,000?" Mr. George replied, 900,000 is a little less than 1,000,000. 1,000,000 is enormous. An airplane costs $1,000,000. You need something a little less than that. Aha! Zach ran to his house. I know how to make something a little less than 1,000,000. In his room, Zach climbed way up high to reach his blue toy airplane, the one that looked just like a real airplane. He carefully unscrewed a wheel from the landing gear of the airplane. Now, with a missing wheel, the price would be a little less than $1,000,000. He handed the airplane to Mommy and asked her to keep his $900,000 airplane without a wheel. He now had 962,571. Where are millions of things? Zach asked his father. The United States has millions of people, Daddy said. 350 million. But I only want to count 4 million people, Zach said. Then you need to count all the people who live in South Dakota, Hawaii, Montana, and Delaware, Daddy replied. Each one of those states has about 1 million people living there. Zach found each state on the globe and copied the names in his notebook, careful to spell them correctly. Then he gathered the notebook with the names of the states, the airplane with one wheel missing, the photo of the trees, the drawing of the bird, and the collection of rocks, bugs, sticks, nails, marbles, a coin, and a piece of toast with butter and blueberry jelly on it. Zach spread them all out on the carpet for everyone to see. 4,962,571! Zach hugged Mommy and Daddy and zoomed out the door again. Mommy called out as he ran, "Now what are you going to do?" 4,962,572! A note to parents. This book highlights some of the fascinating educational principles found in Montessori schools. One of the core principles is a respect and reverence for each child's natural love of learning. Children love to explore and to thrust themselves into difficult, challenging, intrinsically rewarding work. Young children are naturally and insatiably curious, climbing up on counters, touching objects, learning language, putting things in their mouths. They want to know what the world feels like, sounds like, smells like, and looks like. They want to taste the world. Montessori schools nurture this intrinsic love of learning by allowing significant time for self-directed exploration. The young, swashbuckling adventurer in 4,962,571 was suddenly seized by the inspiration to attempt a particularly difficult task. He was not told when to count, nor what number he must count to, nor how to go about reaching his goal. He was not told, even implicitly by praise or reward, when his task was complete. Upon reaching his goal, to the surprise of his parents, he just wanted to keep counting. Repeated opportunities for such self-directed challenges and open-ended tasks leads to leaps of insight, improved self-discipline, extended concentration, and an ongoing love of learning. Another core principle in Montessori education is that movement is an essential part of learning. The opportunity for movement is deliberately incorporated into the classroom. Children are encouraged, for example, to venture forth into the yard, collect sticks and rocks, haul them back, lay them out, and count them. These types of physical projects develop a much more intuitive, useful understanding of mathematical concepts rather than simply listening to a lesson about numbers. Movement, interaction, touch, and experience are critical in the learning process. The boy in this story goes out and physically interacts with numbers in the real world. If you find these Montessori principles intriguing, you may be interested in visiting your local public or private Montessori school to see for yourself. Simply ask to observe a classroom.